Hey mamas, welcome to today's video. I'm excited to have you join me. Fall is finally starting to be in the air a little bit over here, and in anticipation of the coming season, I wanted to do a little plan with me session so we can figure out what kinds of activities we want to do with our kids and celebrate this season for all that it has to offer. I'm Yael, by the way, if we haven't already met, and I'm a homeschooling mama of 3 mini humans. And if you love videos all about curriculum, resources, and eclectic home learning, you have come to the right place. So be sure to subscribe and enable those notifications so you don't miss what I have next just for you, mama. So, confession, planning seasonal activities is definitely not my forte, not my strength. And last year I just found myself being a little bit more last minute about things and a little overwhelmed by some of the activities that I had chosen to do with the kids. So this year I want to go into the season a little bit more planned and strategic so that we can have fun doing all of the activities that we want to do, and I'm not stressed out coming up with all the things. For this video, what I'm going to do is outline a game plan. I'm going to take you through the different steps that I'm going through to plan for my kids, and hopefully that will also help you as you figure out all the things that you want to do with your children in your homeschool this season. So I have my laptop, and the very first thing I'm going to do is figure out exactly when I want to start the activities and where I want to end them. I'm doing this so that I am a little bit more mindful of how many activities I want to do given the time frame that we have. It looks like I think it would be best for us to start the second full week of September. So this is September the 13th. And then we're gonna go all the way to Thanksgiving, which is November 25th. So that gives us about 11 and a half weeks worth of activities that we could possibly do. Now, we're definitely not going to have one different activity for each of those weeks at all. That would be way too much. Instead, I'm going to research and pick about 30 activities, which I know is still a lot, and then whittle it down to about 20 to 25 that we'll actually try to do for each of those weeks. And these activities are going to include learning activities that I can set out for them during our morning work and morning basket time, as well as maybe some things that we want to bake and learn how to make throughout this season. And then also maybe some books and special activities that we want to do around holidays. I just realized too that another activity we could probably do is something around animals of the season. So, I associate fall with squirrels and owls, bats, things like that. So that'll be a fun thing to maybe get some books about, and also do some fun, like maybe journals, like a journal about facts related to an animal. All right, so now the second thing we're going to do is venture into the land of Pinterest. One thing I want to say here is that when you go on Pinterest and you're just scrolling, this is something that I do. I just like to scroll and look at the things that Pinterest is suggesting for me. I drown in all of the different things that I'm seeing in front of me. So like I mentioned before, I'm looking for specific activities, things to cook and make with the kids, maybe things around the holidays that we want to do specific to those events. So I think the point I'm trying to make is you want to go into Pinterest with intention and purpose so that you can stay focused. It's kind of like shopping, right? You want to make sure that you're not just window shopping and you're kind of moseying around, but you want to have a little bit more of a laser focused on what you're looking for in that store. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a Pinterest board specifically for these activities that we want to find. I'm going to call mine Fall Activities 2021. Nothing special. And I'm going to nestle that into a broader homeschooling board that I have. After that, I am going to start looking up activities for the fall, and I'm going to try to be as specific as possible. I think that's the key with any search engine you're using, is to be very specific. So I actually want to incorporate a lot of Montessori type of learning activities as far as the fall season goes. So that's the first thing I'm going to be looking up. So now that I've done that, I am also interested in some things that we can cook or bake for this season. Wow, there are some delicious, yummy things here, but I also want to make sure that whatever I'm picking is very realistic. That's also something that's in the back of my mind. Like, how hard is this activity going to be for me and the kids? All right, so I've got a few things picked here. And then I also want to look at books that we want to incorporate into our homeschool for this season. So I'm going to plug that in as well and see what we come up with. I find that looking for fall or autumn themed books here are great. And then there are definitely books specifically for the different holidays that are coming up. So Halloween books, Thanksgiving, Indigenous Peoples Day. So these are all different things that you can look up on Pinterest, and it gives you some really, really great suggestions. Fantastic. So I have all of these different things picked out. And honestly, when you make these boards, you can also kind of go over whatever your limit is. But then at that point, you want to, like I said before, whittle it down so it's not so overwhelming for you. After that, what I'm going to do is go into Google, and I am going to create a document, a spreadsheet. So this will act like a master list of all the activities we want to do and the books we want to read. Also, I'm going to include in here some of the places we want to visit. So for us, we would like to go to the orchards and do some apple picking, maybe some pumpkin picking. And then the other place we want to go to is our local garden. And honestly, I say garden and you may think of something small. This is like the Disneyland of gardens around here. And they have some amazing fountain shows and special events around the season. So that's something that I am hoping to take the kids to this season. All right, mamas. So I have everything picked out. I have organized everything, and I am now going to go through my house and look for some manipulatives and things that I may already have on hand that we can use for the activities that I have chosen. We are headed down into my basement. This is where I keep all of our seasonal items and decorations, whatnot, for all the different seasons. So hopefully I'll be able to maybe track down and find a few things down here that we could use for our activities. So the very first bin I'm going to check out is this one on top right here, which I believe has all of the fall stuff. Let's see. Ding, 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 jackpot. First off, I have this shredded paper, which I actually got from Dollar Tree last year, and we wound up not using. This is something I think that we could use for my son to do a sensory bin activity where he has to find something that's hidden in the shredded paper. Then we have this that I feel like I can use. It's something that we didn't really use as far as like any hands-on activities, but it has a really cool texture and we can just use it for decorations. I totally did that last year when I put up all of our autumn fall themed decorations. We have some more shredded paper, and then ooh, what's this? So this is something that we're definitely going to repeat this year, and it is our gratitude shoebox. Essentially what I did was I created these little cards that say I'm thankful for, I'm grateful for, and the girls wrote all of their gratitude on there. They folded it up and put it into a shoebox that I wrapped in brown paper. Then on Thanksgiving, we opened the box and everybody read the things that they wrote and the things that they drew. It was really sweet. Also, when they add what they're grateful for to the box, they get to paste one of these leaves to the box, and that was so sweet, and it was all decorated by the time Thanksgiving rolled around. These are just decorations. I really don't know if I'll have a use for that, but I have this fun little scarecrow that one of our neighbors gave us, so we can play some games with that. Then we have these little apples that I got a few years ago for fall and Thanksgiving decorations. This will be fun to do with actually a couple of activities that I have planned out for them. So that'll be great. We also have colored paper, which is great. We have brown, red, purple up there, so that'll be good that we have those colors. And down here we have a box that's already been opened and is really messy right now, but these are some wooden materials that we can certainly paint and use maybe as counters for one of the activities or something like that. That'll be fun. And then in here we have some felt that we'll definitely be using, feathers, some pipe cleaners, and straws that are seasonal colors. So it seems like we have a good amount of supplies and materials as a baseline to work with. I think what I'm going to do is write all of the things that we have down that match up with each of the activities. And honestly, I think I want to try to be as creative as possible when it comes to the materials we already have. So, maybe we can substitute things in activities. We don't have to do them exactly the way, the website says. We can kind of make it our own with what we have. And then as far as the rest of the materials go, I am going to head over to Dollar Tree and pick those things up and make sure that I am laser focused so that I don't get too many more things than I have already planned. Other materials that we are going to gather are natural materials, so things that we can find outside. We experience the changing of the seasons where we live, and it'll be a fun activity in and of itself to go out and have the kids gather up acorns, twigs, fallen leaves, things like that, and we can use that for a nice sensory activity or another activity that we have planned. The other thing that I wanted to do is take a quick scan of our library, and I found a couple of books that I think we can use. This is a good book about Indigenous peoples. It's called Bow Wow Pow Wow. And then we have We Are Grateful. This is one that I used last year for Thanksgiving. And let's see, here's another one that I have. It's called Leaves. Such a cute little story about a bear and how he hibernates. So this is a really fun one to read. All right, mamas, make sure that you are tuned in next week where I will be taking you with me to the Dollar Tree to gather up the rest of the supplies and materials. And then after that, I'm going to show you all the activities that we plan to do with the kids this season. If you have enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a great big thumbs up, a like, and share it with someone you know who might find this video helpful as well. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see you in the next one.